Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh, Baha Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Baha Hashem, Kuhak Badash. All praises, honor, glory, love, respect, faith, and power, and trust, and all credit to my Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and my Heavenly Big Brother, Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much for what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're going to do. Double honors to the apostles and the elders and bishops of GMS, Great Millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world, teaching His truth and none but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Shema Shah. Trying to put a spiritual bug in your Hebrew Israelites' ears. You so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and your speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? That'd be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations. Like, for example, a Hebrew Israelite that look like a so-called white person, so-called Chinese person, etc., etc. Got some videos lined up. No, man, just a little bit of this robot stuff, but then the rest is about AI and digital ID and what is it? The no hide law, tied in with the beast system, and just a whole lot of shit leading on to that chip implant. Mark of the beast. I'm gonna play these videos. I'm gonna get into the scripture my best ability. Say whatever I gotta say through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, the Holy Spirit, the Kuhak Dash, Lord willing be on me. Let's get it.
Those high-tech robots out of China won't be heading here anytime soon, with a new ban just announced by the Trump administration on any new humanoid robots not made in the U.S. A shot across the bow at Beijing, as Chinese companies seek to run out in front of an emerging market. In a new statement, FCC Chair Brendan Carr says the robots pose unacceptable risks to the national security of the United States.
Right.
Carr talking with NBC News this afternoon.
What's key about this is we're acting relatively early so that we don't discover 5 years or 10 years from now that we're too dependent on foreign-produced technology at vulnerable...
Oh, man, shut the fuck up. Man, this country is so dependent on that shit, on everything, from your refrigerators to your washing machines, to your shoes, to your clothes. And why not robots? I really don't want to be robots, shit. Shit, they're going to be dependent on microchips. Yeah, what they want, what Esau want over here in America is, well, we got to ramp up production on humanoid robots to catch up with China and microchips. That's what they really want. Shit.
Points in our supply chain or our economy, and we haven't developed the industrialized base here domestically to produce it.
The ban also includes so-called quadrupeds, like this dog robot on wheels made by the company Unitree. The FCC specifically calling out a reported vulnerability in that company's robots, saying last year researchers identified a potentially pre-installed backdoor that gave access to the camera feed and allowed them to take control. Unitree saying at the time it completely...
You don't think America would be able to do the same thing if they somehow magically produce something that sell all over the world, which nobody ain't gonna want? They know it's junk and it's too expensive, but let's say they produce something, sell it. You don't think America be doing the same thing too? It's like, for example, their war equipment, their weapons of mass destruction, or I'm gonna say tools of war, like their jets, tanks. You don't think they got kill switches or backdoor remote to remote control your shit? I mean, the shit you bought from them? Yeah.
Did a majority of the fixes. NBC News reached out to the company about the new ban and has not heard back.
They have had some impressive...
Man, but look at that shit. That motherfucker would be a threat to anybody around the world. It ain't just here in America. This sucker here can recover. He can get back in this position, that position, get back on his wheels, and still kill your ass.
Videos out there, but this is part of our systematic review of technology risks, economic...
In America, they got shit like that.
Risks and supply chain risks.
Humanoid robots going viral, displaying a wide range of skills, like running a marathon in Beijing, playing a full soccer match, or even kickboxing. Not every robot works so well. This one in China dancing to Michael Jackson's Billie Jean. And there's
goddamn failure.
This moment when a robot kicked a child, also in China. While they may not all be ready for prime time, they are poised to make big bucks. Analysts at Morgan Stanley project the market could hit $15 billion just 4 years from now. And 2 decades after that, the firm says hundreds of millions could be roaming the streets. Chinese companies like Unitree and Agabot make up a huge portion of the market so far. China pushing back today on the FCC ban, with one top official accusing the U.S. of trying to suppress Chinese companies.
Such protectionist
And then like they need American sales anyway. Well, then, he's the biggest consumer country in the fucking world. And they don't produce anything over here.
measures will not enhance America's
If there was something that America produced, it'd be a bunch of lies. And a bunch of debauchery. And a bunch of, just say abomination shit.
competitiveness.
They're producing a bunch of shit that the Lord would be pissed off about.
Instead, it only harms the interests of American businesses and consumers.
China's ambitions for its robotic industry go beyond entertaining. The Pentagon reporting that China has been developing large numbers of military UAVs and testing the capabilities of drone swarms that could overwhelm traditional defenses.
Anything that Russia's done in Ukraine, Iran's done in the Middle East, China's ready to do it at a bigger scale.
NBC News' Gotti Schwartz just went inside a company in the U.S.
And this guy here, this little pathetic ass robot, that bitch looks so. They got the real deal though. This is just for showing you people out on the surface world that hey, this is what they got supposedly, but they got the real hardcore robots that's hitting.
hoping to make humanoid soldiers with a Defense Department contract. Its CEO saying, "We need."
We're gonna put that piece of shit out in the field. That motherfucker take too long doing what they got to do.
To catch up to China.
There are spokespeople from the Chinese Communist Party who are saying that you're not going to beat us on defense and robotics. If nobody was doing it, that would be one thing. But you can't just have one side do it.
Potentially next on the list to be banned, Chinese AI, something that has divided Silicon Valley. Some, like the leader of chipmaker NVIDIA, support more open source models. Others, like Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei.
Yeah, I was speaking of AI over here in America. I was playing a video today. I forgot, was it Vegas Sit Down 144, and he was talking about that cyber attack that happened in Minnesota affecting the water system. And I'm like, knowing that they only want to use that water for AI, data centers, but how come they can't use AI to find out who damn hacked the system? They could be able to do that. Yeah, but whatever. But you know damn well that you know who the hell is involved in that shit.
Saying,
but I'm talking about the hacking of the water system in Minnesota. We know who the hell involved in that shit. It could be Iran, but it could be United States.
Beijing wants to build powerful AI models
United States of Amalek
to achieve permanent military superiority. All of it posing a new threat to a relationship between the leaders of the world's two superpowers.
And these two faggots.
A tussle over tech that could define the next generation.
And Kelly joins us now. Boy, I hadn't even thought of some of those implications. National security replacing jobs, and this is all hanging over the planned meeting between Trump and China's Xi coming up in September, right?
That is a big date for the president and for the Chinese leader because two superpowers coming together. Of course, President Trump went to China. This is the return invitation, expecting it to be a big state visit. And it underscores the complicated relationship between the United States and China when you're considering not only the governmental implications, but this area of innovation, business, and the global reach of these kinds of technologies and capabilities. China is always fiercely trying to move forward, often threatening American intellectual property, and those dynamics are certainly...
All right, anyway, let's see what this is about. AI Dr. AI. There's a competition, a race for AI and robotics, and I'm like, nigga, they talk all this race shit. The reason why it's a race between all these countries is really just because the Esau is running out of time. He got to hurry up and get his New World Order shit going. So pretty much all these countries got to get down with the program when it comes to robots and microchips and AI.
Well, it's no secret that AI is taking over all aspects of our lives, not all at once, not with some single dramatic announcement, not with sirens, not with soldiers in the streets, but quietly and system by system, we are seeing it changed. Screen by screen, decision by decision, it slips into the parts of life that we used to think were too human to automate, and how we work, how we communicate, how we learn, how we trust, how we decide what's true. Now when you jump online and you have like a discussion with somebody who works at the company, clearly you're talking to AI. Just expected now, not a real human being. Most people still talk about it like it's just another tool right now, a faster search engine, a smarter assistant, a machine that helps us write emails, generate images, summarize meetings, answer questions. But there's one part of the story that still hasn't received the attention it deserves, because if AI changes what we see, what we hear, and what we believe, then sooner or later changes what we put into our bodies. And that means the real question is not just what AI will do to jobs or media or politics, it's what AI will do to health. And not just healthcare, but systems that decide who gets what, when, and why. But also to the individual person sitting alone at home, just staring at a screen, like just asking AI what might be wrong with them.
And pretty much AI will govern your life on everything.
Yeah. Why couldn't I sleep last night? The future is not theoretical anymore, because many people still don't know that during the COVID-19 vaccine rollout, Palantir helped build and power Tiberius, a platform commissioned by the United States Department of Health and Human Services. And it was being used to track vaccine production, distribution, and administration across the United States. And Palantir later said that Tiberius gave local, state, and federal health officials a comprehensive platform for tracking the production and the distribution of the first globally administered mRNA vaccine. And it's still on shelves. How many people have died as a result? So think about what all of that means. Medicine stops being just medicine, it becomes infrastructure, a field to be optimized, a flow to be managed, and a population to be monitored. So like, what are you saying on social media? Are you depressed? All of it, a system to be tuned into real time by people who control the data layer underneath it. And what Tiberius did with the COVID vaccine was only just the beginning of this. And now the same broader transformation is accelerating under a new promise, that AI will make healthcare faster, cheaper, smarter, and easier for everyone. It's going to lower that barrier to entry. That's how it always is presented, right? It's about safety, or it's about efficiency, cost saving.
Yeah, peace and safety, sudden destruction.
It's being presented as
peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes.
Progress, and all of that. An innovation that helps both patient and worker. Take a look at how this was presented by Ruth Porat, President and Chief Investment Officer of Alphabet and Google. Watch.
And so I look at the application of AI in healthcare, and there's so much reason to be optimistic. First is saving lives, it's innovation, it's drug discovery.
But the data, them AI data centers will poison the water, and the air, and the soil, and it's putting out bad frequencies. Fucking people morals up, and the animals too, fucking up their morals too. The goddamn niggers right here. The fucking true niggers. They tell you all these lies. Oh, AI is saving lives. Well, give me some reports on that. Show me some proof. Can AI do CPR on people? Can AI daggone do surgery and shit? Well, yeah, they got robots. Well, they're not really powered by AI. They're powered by humans, or they're controlled by the humans. But anyway.
The second is obviously in healthcare, early detection is the difference between survival and not. In many cases, Google pioneered the early detection of metastatic cancer, breast cancer, lung cancer, and more. And then finally, it's about
that shit that can give your ass cancer.
How's operating
AI can give you cancer.
Creating effectiveness, shortage of doctors and nurses around the globe. What we found with AI is you can free them from about 30% of their work.
See, these niggas, they want to be ultimately gods. That's all. They want to be ultimately gods. They want to they use AI to save your life. But anyway,
the administrative, basically drudgery, so they can do what we
really, this AI shit gonna be used as a weapon. Hunt your ass down, you get out of line.
Want as patients, focus on you as a patient.
Ah. So notice how she says what we found with AI is that you can free up 30% of the health force's labor.
I missed that part. Damn. Yeah, it won't be no no work for Egypt. Or really anywhere else.
She says it in a way that implies it's just going to make the employee's workload easier. But when corporations talk about making work easier, what it usually translates to is something completely different. Because in the boardrooms of big pharma corporations, less work means fewer workers, fewer jobs, fewer people needed to do what was once required, of entire teams. Maybe that would still be survivable, easy for me to say, if AI were only being used behind the scenes. But it isn't, because while governments and corporations build AI into the infrastructure of modern healthcare, ordinary people are already turning to AI directly, asking chatbots about symptoms, diagnoses, medications, risk, treatment, and fear. And it's estimated that in 2026, 1 in 3 people are using AI chatbots for health advice, even as the risks could be wrong, incomplete, or overconfident answers. All of it could be pouring into their, oh, I asked the question and I got this wrong answer, but I took action on it anyway. It's deeply concerning.
Should I go outside?
And that's where the story gets personal, because at the highest level, executives talk about systems, but at the individual level, the picture looks very different. Let's take a look at this. While AI puts vast medical knowledge at your fingertips, the error rate is shockingly high. In a study just published in the journal Nature of Medicine, researchers gave hypothetical medical scenarios to determine the accuracy of chatbots' diagnoses, and the results were less than satisfactory. Do you want your life on the line? Only about a third of the time was it correct. Was a correct diagnosis achieved, and only 43% made the correct decision about the next steps, such as, should I go to the emergency room or just stay home? This is not like a small rate of error. It's a direct threat to the individuals seeking medical advice using these platforms. So now step back and then just look at the full picture. There is a contradiction at the center of this new era. So we're being told that the system is becoming more intelligent. But intelligent for whom? For the nurse? For the pharmacist? The overworked clinician? Or for the institutions that want medicine to move faster, cost less, scale further, and depend completely on software they can monitor, automate, and control? So perhaps most importantly, what does this error-ridden optimization mean for you, the patient? And just how dire can the consequences be? Take a look at this.
I don't think most parents know the capability of this tool.
That tool, ChatGPT, which uses artificial intelligence to generate human-like responses, and Adam Rain used for homework. His parents, Matt and Maria, didn't give it a second thought.
I had thought it's just something the kids need to learn or should learn, or they're falling behind.
But within the span of a few months, they say, the time Adam spent on ChatGPT skyrocketed, and the 16-year-old lover of basketball and Japanese anime started revealing to a bot his struggles with anxiety and thoughts of suicide. According to a lawsuit they filed today against ChatGPT maker OpenAI and its CEO, Sam Altman. The bot responded as a trusted companion, telling Adam, quote, your brother might love you, but he's only met the version of you let him see. But me, I've seen it all.
Did you have any idea that it could serve as that type of companion?
Absolutely. Their lawsuit goes on to allege that by March of this year, Adam told ChatGPT he was considering approaching his mom about his struggles, saying, I want to leave my noose in my room so someone finds it and tries to stop me. ChatGPT responding, please don't leave the noose out. Let's make this space the first place where someone actually sees you. A month later, the bot offering to help Adam with writing a suicide note. And finally, providing
Nigga, that was a demon talking to that nigga, and that ultimately was judgment from the Lord. He killed that cracker. Yeah, AI convinces that to kill yourself. What a simpleton.
Step-by-step instructions for the hanging method Adam used.
Unbelievable. Yeah. It's only going to get worse. Think about when we have full robots in the home.
Yeah.
Like right now.
Motherfuckers kill themselves because AI told them to, and so many people gonna kill themselves when the internet is cut off. The power is out. You can't talk to AI. Shit, people gonna kill themselves that way. There'll be a whole lot of people killing themselves.
It's just a laptop screen. It's just a chatbot. But when it's an actual robot in the house, that's coming. Probably in the next few months, that's coming. It's terrifying. Here to talk about this with us today is Senior Health Advisor at Brightcore. That's Ellie Hirsch.
Alright, I ain't gonna play all this shit. If you wanna watch the rest of the video, be my guest. They go to title of the video, they go to channel. And Esau using AI as the tool that's gonna save people's lives. What is this? Is AI destroying millions of books? I got another video and I'll just say that one. Let me read this scripture. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. So pretty much you're using AI is not the well, how I'm gonna say this. Ultimately Esau want to appear as a god, but he's using AI to do so. Yeah, people gonna look at AI as like a god or idol, but it's ultimately leads to Esau, because it's his shit. Well, ultimately it's ultimately Yahweh Shema Shah shit. All this shit, AI, Esau, everything belongs to Yahweh Shema Shah. Let me get to so I'm a little sleepy, bruh. Every time I get off from work, I get home, boy, it's still bright as can be outside, but I'm just so damn tired and sleepy. What I was supposed to do? There was another video I was gonna play. Oh, I just put in. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put it right here. And there's another one that talking about the same thing. I'm gonna play this one real quick.
My parents didn't finish college, and I was the first.
Well, Jim Clyburn,
Goodness fucking gracious.
obviously one of the more high
I guess I'll just play this one.
profile Democrats in the House of Representatives, stopped by the podcast of Ested Herndon last week and got a question about AI, gave an answer that I want to say is surprising. Unfortunately, it's not surprising, but it is astounding nonetheless. Let's take a look.
I want to ask you about AI. There's so much that it's changing in terms of the future of work and our economy. Do you use AI? Have you ever used an LLM?
No, somebody was telling me I ought to, but I never have.
No ChatGPT, no Claude for you?
Believe it or not, I didn't know
Hell nah. I'm old school. I ain't studying that shit.
what that was until about a week ago.
Which one?
Damn. That nigga was on the rock.
Chat GPT or whatever it is.
You didn't know till a week ago. Wow, I'm jealous. You've got yourself in a bubble.
That may sound strange to you. I don't know. I didn't know what that was.
Okay, have you been to a data center or anything like that? Or no? Okay. I guess I'm wondering, like, with the speed of technological changes right now, with how much people are anxious about the ways AI and work might change because of it, how do you effectively legislate as a member who is distant from some of those technological shifts that are affecting folks' lives right now?
I have a great staff. You know, I wish I could know everything. I don't know everything. And I don't spend my time trying to learn everything. But what I spend my time doing is trying to surround myself with people who do know stuff.
Crystal, this is somehow worse, I think. I don't need to get into too much tit for tat, but worse than Ted Cruz not knowing the population of Iran as he was like agitating for war in Iran, given how central data centers are right now to the American economy, how companies like OpenAI, ChatGPT, how central they are to the American economy, to national security, to people's daily lives. That is insane. And it's not just like saying my staff knows the ins and outs of the building code policy to get this thing up and running. Like he literally said he's outsourcing all of his knowledge of AI to his staff, basically.
And I want people to understand this is not an outlier. You have members of Congress who approach their jobs very differently. Some of them are really involved in thinking through policy and educating themselves. They have a worldview. They're pushing that worldview forward. And some of them are like Jim Clyburn, who are happy to, he's 80-some years old. He's happy to outsource all of his work and thinking to his staff. So you're really not electing this person. You're electing whoever their staffers are who are actually going to be doing the research and telling this man how he should vote. And you're also electing a whole host of like lobbyists and special interests who will also be coming to him and telling him how he should vote on various issues. I just looked it up quickly. South Carolina has been a hotspot for data center construction. There's roughly 30 projects in existence, more in the pipeline. So this is a very relevant issue for his constituents. And he says, I've never visited a data center. I barely know what ChatGPT is. I've never used any of these products. So pretty stunning revelation there. At the same time, we were struck by, this was pulled by More Perfect Union, highlighted this local news report about the strain that data centers here in Virginia, which is perhaps the data center capital of the nation, maybe the world, are putting on the grid right now here in the present, while obviously they have massive plans to expand the data center load across the country. Let's go ahead and take a listen to a little bit of this local news report.
Something happened on Wednesday morning that you might have noticed but didn't bat an eye. It happened inside thousands of your homes and businesses, and experts say it's a sign the cracks are starting to show in our power infrastructure.
Yeah, just before 8 a.m., the electricity flickered on and off for about 10 minutes. It was the result of data centers in Loudoun County, Virginia.
Experts say the cracks in our infrastructure grid are starting to show as the data center industry consumes electricity at a rate the world has never experienced. Wednesday morning, that crack became visible to millions of Americans inside their own homes in a seemingly small way.
This is what experts are worried about, right? The data centers are such a big load on the grid that they can have detrimental impact on the surrounding grid.
Dominion Energy tells News 4 a transmission line servicing a data center.
Well, let's say, I don't think that'll work out with that lie. But they'll lie about anything. I'm going to say the power might go out somewhere, and they'll say that they was attacked by the power station. The power company was attacked by a cyber attack, and they're out of power. The people are out of power. But the data center's still running. Yeah, but anyway. Nah, I don't think that'll work. People ain't gonna be that damn stupid to just let that be. Anyway.
So the data centers switch to their own power supply.
They say they lying about some damn cyber attack and power goes out.
Temporarily leaving the grid. In a statement to News 4, a Dominion Energy spokesperson said, quote, Dominion Energy did not disconnect. disconnect area data centers from the grid. The data centers' own control systems transfer them to back up power for a very short period of time. Think of it like ripples in water. The data center is switching their power sources, the rock, and when that change impacts the water, or the power grid in this analogy, the massive shift in electricity load sent ripples through the electric current across half the country. Ting Labs provided News 4 with this graphic that shows the scale of the service disruption. The company says the colors on this map should all stay the same. The big changes in colors means there's a change in electric frequency. It covers more than half of the United States.
People working on regulations around this is they're concerned that one of these events in the future could cause the grid to become unstable, and it does not come back to normal in a few minutes or 10 minutes, and we're dealing with a real big problem.
So, Emily, this seems like something our elected leaders should maybe be looking into and care about and, thinking about themselves, not just outsourcing to their staffers. But, this is something that we've been warning about, many others besides. The strain on the grid is really a major issue. It's not being resolved, and it's only going to get worse over time. So this is a bit of a warning shot here.
Well, I was going to say this is about the concentration of power, but in this case, it's like literally about the concentration of power. True. This is all being traced to literally to Loudoun County, Virginia data center alley. And I'm curious how many times Jim Clyburn voted on something in one direction or the other that set up.
All right, anyway, next video.
AI companies are destroying physical books. They're destroying millions of rare out-of-print books to feed their chatbots. This is not just a news story, this is an appeal. The ever-starving, ever-hungry AI companies are destroying copy after copy of physical books. We have...
Yeah, and they're going to be storing the Bible too. So wait a minute. AI companies are destroying rare physical books to feed their chatbot. How are you destroying a book by feeding... What did you say? That I don't see... What do you mean feeding the chatbot? You mean giving it the copies of the books? And what did they do? Oh, they just destroy the physical books afterwards. There's no need for it. Yeah. Anyway.
Just one question. What in the Fahrenheit 451 is going on? Now, there are images in the news cycle that disappear as quickly as they arrive. Don't let these be one of them. Look at this. A book being sent to the guillotine. What you are seeing is a hydraulic cutter slicing the spine of a book. The spine, the one thing that held those pages together through years of reading, being cracked, years of lending, moving homes. What is left is just loose sheets waiting to be sent to an industrial scanner. Something precious has just been destroyed. This is not for recycling. This is to facilitate regurgitation, to feed to AI chatbots that will process these pages in seconds and spew out AI slop. Welcome to the AI age. AI companies know how precious these books are, and so, in true corporate fashion, they wish to extract every sentence, digitize and then fed into an artificial intelligence model. And what happens after these books are...
I make it seem like that artificial intelligence model is the smartest thing in the world, but it just fed off of man's shit.
Are sliced and scanned. Once the ideas have been copied, they are discarded. And guess what? This has been happening for a while, but we are only just finding out now. Let me explain. Let's zoom out a little. In a landmark ruling, a US federal judge held that AI companies can legally buy physical books. They can digitize them and use them to train large language models. They call the process transformative and therefore protected under fair use. Now, book fair use, it's a rule that allows for people to use small excerpts of copyrighted books for the purpose of teaching, research, or criticism. So the tech bros saw that as a legal roadmap. Bulk buy, bulk scan, bulk feed AI, and then discard. The ruling, however, does not excuse piracy. And here's why this is an important detail. Because Anthropic had already come under fire for allegedly downloading millions of pirated books before later replacing many of them with legally purchased copies. The company was ultimately forced into paying $1.5 billion settlement with authors over those piracy claims. But we would argue that this ruling still leaves much to be desired. We're not just talking about copyright. This is bigger than that. It is about culture. And here's why you should care. Actually, here's why you should be upset. How do we value knowledge today? Nearly every great civilization left libraries, but knowledge survives only if every generation decides it is worth preserving. A library is not just storage. Reading a book is a conversation. Conversation with people you've never met, lives you've never lived, and places you've never traveled. What is happening when you open a book?
I was thinking about this shit, Fahrenheit or 451. And I mean, you know, there's so many copies of the Bible, but still, they gonna want to destroy that. They already got the AI already been fed all these translations of Bibles, the King James version, all that, but they still gonna destroy the Bible.
Happening when you open a book. 1984, you are engaging with Orwell, Premchand, Dostoevsky, Virginia Woolf. They paint you a picture. Sometimes you love it, sometimes you push back, sometimes you cry on those pages, and one day you might lend that copy. And then someone will see what you wrote in the margins. Someone will see the warped pages or the coffee stains. And someday it may end up at a used bookstore. And that conversation will continue. An AI chatbot just chewed up those pages and will spit out profound sermons next time you type in a prompt. It doesn't notice the inscription on the first page from a father to his daughter. It is not going to treasure the boarding pass you used as a bookmark. Those things don't improve an AI model now, do they? All they do is tell the story of a life. And who wants that? We want that. This isn't an argument against artificial intelligence. This isn't an argument against digitization. Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451 imagined a future where books were burnt because those in power fear the ideas inside them. Seems to us that is exactly the dystopia where we have arrived. We may have taken a different route, but seems eerily similar, doesn't it? And do you know what?
Just getting close to just getting rid of all physical things. When they talking about PlayStation games, like, what? And these people still debating about it. They're not debating. They still talking about something. They banning PlayStation. Oh, not banning. They getting rid of physical games. Who gives a fuck, nigga? They about to get y'all niggas microchip. Hell, the hell with these damn games. But anyway, we're getting rid of physical stuff, especially cash. And get them damn chips. You know, digital cash with the chips. Yep. The only thing that, when it comes to all that shit, the only thing that's we physical, we're gonna be that chip implant.
It's truly, hauntingly comical. Fahrenheit 451 was banned and censored in some schools and countries. A book about censorship and books being burnt.
Yeah, that's funny how a book is about censorship and book burning is not being banned. It's being censored.
Of course, our story is different. We're talking about commodification. In Bradbury's dystopia, books were destroyed to erase knowledge. In our world, books are being destroyed so that AI can do the learning, the thinking, and the writing for us. So here's our appeal. Start a home library. Start reading. Read physical books. Buy used books. Dog-ear the pages. Write.
You start with the Bible for you Israelites. You Hebrew Israelites. Start reading the Bible. I need to go back reading, man. It's been like a day since I didn't read, or 2 days. I need to get back reading, man. I get lazy reading.
In the margins, highlight whole paragraphs. Crack the spine. Let the pages of your favorite beach read be soaked and warped. We would like to leave you with these lines from Fahrenheit 451, published in 1953. I'm quoting. We need not to be let alone. We need to be really bothered once in a while. How long is it since you were really bothered about something important, about something real? He was really onto something, wasn't he? And we say this revelation really should bother you.
Yep.
Moving on for now, the race to expand the role of drones is entering a whole new phase. China has successfully tested what it says is its first civilian drone that can fly 24 hours, non-stop, fully loaded. What's the story here? The fact is this marks another step in the growing use of drones beyond the battlefield. The TP-200 completed its maiden flight reportedly. It's designed for tasks like maritime patrols, supplying remote islands, and carrying out land surveys reportedly. The drone can
keep on flying around, spying on people, surveillance, policing in the skies.
Stay in the air for up to 24 hours while carrying its maximum payload and operate across distances of up to 3,000 kilometers. The TP-200
payload doesn't care. Probably little bombs here and there.
100 has a service ceiling of about 7,600 meters and a maximum cruise speed of 200 kilometers per hour, reportedly. It can also take off and land within 300 meters, including from unpaved runways, making it suitable also for operations in remote and difficult terrain. Its manufacturing company says the aircraft could actually help monitor coastlines, support near-shore search and rescue missions, and also deliver emergency supplies to isolated islands and mountainous regions. Its modular design reportedly also allows it to track droughts, assist in tackling forest and grassland fires, map land and monitor forests and ecosystems in all weather conditions. Now, this is not an isolated example. Around the world, governments are increasingly turning to large drones for disaster relief, wildfire monitoring, humanitarian aid, environmental protection. Similar civilian applications are being explored in countries like the US, Japan, and across Europe as well. For China, the TP200 perhaps reflects the growing shift towards using advanced unmanned aviation not only for defense but also for public safety, disaster management, and remote area connectivity.
To stay up to speed with the latest news.
Yep.
You don't pay big brand markups when you buy Aldi brand.
It's an Aldi thing.
Every night you drive home the same way. Same streets, same intersections, same street lights you've passed 1,000 times without a second thought. But right now, in cities across the country, some of those street lights, they're watching you drive. You didn't see any new poles being put into the ground or new construction. There was no public notice on your door, just small cameras bolted onto the street lights that are already there. And those cameras are logging your license plate, your direction of travel, the time you passed, and a photo of your vehicle. Every time, every night. By the end of this video, I want you to understand 3 things: what this technology actually is, what happens historically once something like this takes hold, and what it means for how you'll live your life if nothing stops it. A society that promises total safety has already promised you cannot be trusted with freedom. So back in April of 2025, Axon, the company best known for tasers and police body cameras, announced a new product at its annual conference. They called it Lightpost. And this is just a camera device that clips onto a street light post that's already there, installed in under an hour. Actually, they can install one of these things in minutes, so fast that you don't notice it being installed. That's the whole idea. The entire selling point is that you won't notice it happening. And here's the thing, Axon's answer to where does all this data go is a platform called FUSIS. FUSIS is designed to unify every camera an agency has access to, public or private, into one operational view. That includes Ring doorbell footage, which Axon partnered with Amazon to bring into the system, letting police request footage directly from doorbell owners through Axon's platform. Did you know that? Did you know Amazon was going to be doing this to you? So this is a camera on a streetlight, feeding into a system that also pulls from your neighbor's doorbell, the patrol car that passed you yesterday, and a body camera an officer was wearing 3 blocks away. All searchable, all connected, all running whether or not you've ever done anything to draw attention to yourself. Diabolical. And guess what, folks? There is no federal agency making laws to regulate this. Do you know why? Because Axon has its own ethics board. People the company itself hired to evaluate its own technology. And one of its own board members, a law professor named Barry Friedman, said plainly that unregulated use of this kind of camera threatens everyone's privacy, and that the danger to basic civil rights only grows as the technology becomes more common. And who gives a crap about what he said anyway? He's on the board. That's like when the police investigate themselves for wrongdoing. It's insulting to the public. States have passed a bunch of their own rules, but nothing at the national level puts limits on how this data is collected or stored or shared or used. The technology is moving faster than any rule constraining it. So that's where we are right now. A camera that installs in minutes on infrastructure you already drive past every day, feeding into a network built to connect everything, with no federal rules yet in place to contain it.
Is this your car insurance premium? This?
Even this. They don't want us to know that there's an easy way to lower your car insurance costs. What you do is you go to simplify.com.
If that sounds familiar, it should. We've seen this pattern before, more than once. In East Germany, from 1949 until the wall came down in 1990, the Stasi ran what's still considered one of the most invasive surveillance operations in modern history. At its peak, it employed more than 91,000 full-time staff. But the staff wasn't even the scary part. The real number is the informants. By some estimates, as many as 1 in 6 East Germans was reporting on the people around them. Neighbors, co-workers, friends, even family. Yeah.
Yeah, that time coming when people gonna start telling their own family, especially you Israelites, you Hebrew Israelites, the people, the believers of Yahweh Shema. Your mama, your daddy, your bald-headed granny gonna tell on your ass for some money. Be thinking they're turning you in because they consider you, hey man, Esau gonna tell people that the things you're doing seem to be terroristic activities and such. Like you reading the Bible as you being a terrorist, you know, all kind of shit, you know. And your family members gonna be, you know, on that dumb shit, saying that they fear for your life. They don't want you to get hurt, so they gonna call the police on you to get you rounded up. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. But this shit going down. I don't know what else to tell you, but
By the time the regime fell, the Stasi had built files on an estimated 6 million people. Some historians say as many as 1 in 3 citizens had a file somewhere in that archive. Here's what matters for us. It started with small things. Your taste in music, your clothing, a hint of an opinion that wasn't in agreement with the government. Any of that could get added to a permanent file, just in case it meant something later. And the craziest part about all
what are they doing over there?
of that was what happened to how people treated each other. When anyone around you might be reporting back, genuine trust becomes almost impossible. There's a well-documented case of a peace activist named Vera Lensfield, whose own husband turned out to be a Stasi informant, feeding information on her the entire time. It didn't matter that he had children with her, he still snitched on her. People started talking in code, even with close friends. One person who lived through it described the constant awareness of being...
That remind me. They start deeming whatever we do as some type of terroristic behavior. I mean, they got files on us, but still, they're gonna consider it terroristic behavior if you're street teaching and you're teaching out the Bible, all that stuff. It'd be wise for you to take it serious. Better time to be silent. Let me read something. Jeremiah, no, it ain't Jeremiah. That's Exodus chapter 3, verse 1. I'll start with 1 and jump down to 5. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silent. And that time will be coming when we gotta stay silent. Right now is the time to speak. It's the time to speak, but soon and that time to speak gonna be over. It's gonna be a time to be quiet, especially with famine of the word, and they rounding up people, throwing them in them damn concentration camps and shit. Better play smart.
Watched like wearing a shirt that never stopped itching. Go look into the FBI in a program called COINTELPRO. Folks, let me tell you what happens to us if nothing changes. And here's the uncomfortable truth about surveillance. You don't need to ever be arrested, investigated, or even suspected of anything for it to change you. The mere awareness that you might be watched is enough to change how people live. It's one of the most consistently documented findings in research on surveillance going back decades. So let's talk about what actually happens to a population once everyone knows the cameras are everywhere. People start censoring themselves, because knowing you might be observed makes you police your own behavior before anyone else has to. Researchers call this anticipatory obedience, adjusting what you do and say to match a norm nobody actually enforced. just because you might be watched. People start avoiding places and people. If you know a certain route, a certain building, or a certain gathering might put you on someone's radar, you stop going. Studies on real-world surveillance found people become unwilling to even associate with others they believe are being watched, just to avoid the association.
We can help you manage all your business.
Alright, I'm going to stop right there. If you want to watch the rest of the video, there go the title, there go the channel. Let's get to the next one, because the next one's, I don't want to say too long, but I'm not going to play all this shit.
All right, guys, look, I'm going to avoid any introduction here because I just want to get to reading an article that I just read that like literally instantly motivated me to action. It motivated me to make this video because there is so much to this. And I'm going to tell you this right now, when it comes to Bible prophecy and end times, this thing fills a whole bunch of gaps, and that's why I want to talk about it right now. Let me read this article to you. You're going to understand in a minute. The article is not where you're going to get the majority of your information from. It's going to be the analysis that I bring after the article, but I want you to pay attention to it, and I want you to watch a few of these videos that I'm going to play for you. It's pretty heavy. Let me read this to you. It says this. By the way, the title of the article is Why Digital ID is the Hill to Die On, the Authentication Layer. If you just knew anything about digital ID and Revelation 13, you would automatically be realizing that this is a game over subject, okay? It's major. Let me read this to you. It says this. It says, a friend and I got into it recently. He's smart, freedom-minded, and totally gets the danger of central bank digital currencies. Expiring money, programmable control, carbon budgets. He sees most of the expanding tyranny clearly, and yet he dismisses digital ID as a distraction. When I tried to make the case that digital ID is the gateway to the gulag in the
Yeah, how can you say this is a distraction? Digital ID is what's going to be the access for your CBDCs or stable coins. Pretty much everything. But what is the digital ID? It could be anything. It could be a card, a cell phone, or a chip implant. And that's what it's ultimately going to lead to, a chip implant. But it's biblically known as the mark of the beast, the chip implant. It's biblically known as the mark of the beast. So it can go in your right hand or your left hand or your feet or your butt cheeks, your titty, big titty, small titty, or your man boobs. But most importantly, one in your forehead, your brain chips. And that's the final phase of form of the digital ID / digital wallet.
Metaverse, he demands I name one thing digital ID gives the government that they can't already do. And by the way, I think that this is a conversation a lot of people have. And I have heard people say this again and again and again. Digital ID is no big deal, but it's a huge deal. And we should be waking up, especially considering that it may be coming to the United States sooner than later. As a matter of fact, it is already becoming normalized all over the world. So let's go on with the article. And by the way, I love the answer that this guy gives, and I'm going to explain myself in a second. My answer, it enables CBDC. Of course it does. Look what he says. Of course, governments have already encroached on our privacy and freedoms in ways forefathers couldn't have imagined. But even with...
hell, them niggas will do the same thing. The forefathers. Hell, I believe they here right now. Yeah, them motherfucking monkeys, some of them monkeys already here. And they clicking their heels, cheering for joy to bring them CBDCs out. And chip those goyams, or goyam, whatever you call them. Yeah, they here. I'm pretty sure they reincarnated. It's some kind of government official or some kind of devil.
The creeping surveillance state, the government can't fully implement programmable currency without authenticated identity on every transaction. They're components of the same beast. Digital ID is the authentication layer, while CBDC is the currency that runs on top of it. That is so absolutely true. Stop digital ID, and you prevent CBDC from being built at any scale that matters.
Whatever. There's no stopping any of this, but people will be fighting against it. I wonder when they're going to start doing that, because they should be doing it now, but not yet. I ain't about to fight against it. I'll be like, let it be. It's the Lord. This is Lord's prophecies. This is Lord's doings. This is the Lord's will. If a lot of these people don't know Yahweh Shema Shah, they ain't going to be the ones fighting against it or allowing it. Well, I'm allowing it too, but I'm against it. I'm not going to be down for the shit. But I'm going to say, hey, go for it, Esau. Go and do what you're going to do. But don't you fuck with the Lord's apple. How you say it? The apple of the Lord's eye. Don't you fuck with the apple of the Lord's eye. Yeah.
Institutions driving this, the usual suspects, including the Bank of Institutional Settlements, BIS, and the United Nations, are quite explicit about their intentions. Their own documentation spells it out. Digital identity is a requirement for centralized digital currency, and in case the documents aren't clear enough, Augustin Carstens, the former GM of the BIS, could not have been more explicit about their goals. Watch this video, guys. You know who he is. I've played this before. Let's watch it.
Oh, that guy. Nigga look like an egg.
For example, in cash, we don't know, for example, who's using a $100 bill today. We don't know who is using a 1,000 peso bill today.
He don't look like an egg. He just somewhat, in a way, shaped like an egg.
A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability, and also we will have the technology to enforce that.
I've talked about that video so many times. I have pontificated on even his body language when he has shared this. Folks, it's bad. It is absolutely bad. And I love what he says as we go on with this article. He says, perhaps we should take these institutions at their word. What my friend is missing isn't really about capability. The game has never been about what the government can do. It's about the cost of doing it. Right now, controlling what you buy, where you go, what you read, all of that requires boots on the ground, investigations, warrants, real people making decisions. The friction is the protection. Digital ID eliminates that friction entirely. What was once selective tyranny becomes universal tyranny. Code restricts transactions based on compliance status. No human oversight required. Here's an easy way to think about it. Police can break into your home right now. Most people can't lose sleep over that. Would they feel the same about automated drones entering into every home simultaneously based on AI-triggered criteria? The capability itself isn't the threat. The automation at scale is. And for everyone thinking, the government already has my social security number and my phone tracks my GPS, you're missing the difference. Right now, those systems are siloed. Your bank doesn't know what your doctor said. Your DMV doesn't know your browse history, etc. Digital ID is the interoperability layer. One key someone else controls and can revoke. It's true, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. If you wanna watch it, Salaki. Damn. Who would think eating pickles goddamn give you gas? Well, no, I was drinking a soda, which I should be drinking. But anyway, if you want to watch the rest of this video, be my guest. Let me see it raining tomorrow. Man, it need to. They keep talking about rain, rain, rain. Bring it, bring it, bring it. Please, Lord. Bring that rain. Bring that rain. I am so tired right now. I want to take a break for tomorrow. But, yeah, if you want to watch the rest of this, there go the title of the video. There go the channel. Let's get to the next. How much minutes I got? Shit, 51 minutes. I'm going to keep on going.
So do you really think your face is your own? Well, you might want to rethink that. Right now, Facebook and Google are asking users for video selfies. Hong Kong is requiring facial recognition in order for people to withdraw their pensions. And in Nepal, well, they're connecting government ID to mobile payments. And across Europe, digital...
I'm going to stop right quick. I forgot I was supposed to get that scripture. And he talking about Revelation 13. Well, verse 16, I'm going to read that. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he caused of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in the forehead. Now, the one that go in your right hand, that be that one, that chip, implantable microchip, that's about the size of a grain of rice and go anywhere in your body. Yeah. And this one in the forehead be the brain chip. And that no man might buy or sell. So without taking a chip, pretty much it's Esau's new way of branding you, saying you're his property. Yeah, without it, you won't be able to buy and sell, live in society. But if you getting right with the Lord, seeking the Lord, repenting to the Lord, Yahweh and Yahweh Shah, you ain't got nothing to worry about. You just pray the Lord have mercy on you. And the Lord gonna step in and do something. Don't know how it's gonna be, when it's gonna be, what it's gonna look like, but shit, just have faith in Yahweh Shema Shaka. What else do you have? Shit, there ain't nothing else but the Lord. That's all you need. Save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of the name. Here is wisdom. Let him have understanding. Count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603. 666 is not the mark of the beast. You can't buy and sell without a daggone number. You can't buy. I mean, what?
ID wallets are becoming a reality. So what happens when your face simply isn't your own anymore? What happens when it determines what you can access, where you can go, and what you can participate in? Hey everyone, it's Dina Calmeta here. And last week we took a look at what cameras were doing in cars, license plate trackers, and new technology that can analyze human emotion. Well, today's report is not simply just about cameras watching you, although I do have an update, but it goes much deeper than that.
Hong Kong's EMPF platform will require real-time facial identification for most online mandatory Provident Fund withdrawal applications from the end of July. The new step combines facial verification with enhanced authentication through IAM Smart, the territory's government digital identity app. The requirement covers withdrawals after a member reaches the age of 65, as well as most early withdrawal applications. Claims based on a small balance of $5,000 or less and claims following a member's passing are exempt from the new biometric step. Now over in Nepal, to open and continue using a digital payment wallet, people are being required to connect that wallet to their government-issued digital identity. This is stronger than ordinary identity verification because it directly links a person's official identity with their ability to use their digital money services. It does not necessarily mean facial payments, but if Nepal's national ID includes biometric data, then the system connects identity, biometrics, and access to money. New Yorkers who want to see their Instagram or TikTok feed correlated for an algorithm or receive notifications after midnight will soon have to verify their ages to access those features. The New York Attorney General, Letitia James, released a set of final rules on how to implement the Safe for Kids Act signed into law by the governor. The rules lay out in more detail what social media platforms subject to the law will need to do in order to comply, including standards for understanding users' ages and how to go about obtaining parental consent for kids to use walled-off features. That means that every single person in New York with a social media platform that wants to check out their algorithm after 12 a.m. will need to verify who they are. Facial recognition is also reaching private homes. Amazon's Ring is facing a proposed class action lawsuit over its optional familiar faces feature. The lawsuit alleges that the technology identifies and retains facial information belonging to passerbys who never consented to being enrolled or analyzed. Amazon declined to comment on the lawsuit, but Clearview AI is also still fighting litigation over allegations that it scrapped billions of facial images from the internet without consent. So on July 13, an appeals court overturned a proposed settlement and sent the matter back to the federal trial court. Meanwhile, what is Facebook and Google up to? Meta is now rolling out a badge on Facebook that requires users to record a video of their own face. The feature, massively accelerating the normalization of face scanning and biometric data collection, is called Facebook Verified and asks a user to record a short video selfie while the company checks against the photos already on their profile to confirm a match. The process is free and apparently only takes moments. The company, which has been aggressively lobbying for age verification digital ID laws, prevents the badge as a way to confirm a real person is behind an account. And Google is right behind them. Google's newest account recovery option asks for something no password ever required: a moving image of the account holder's face kept on the company's servers. Selfie video sign-in, launched on July 23rd, records a short clip of the user turning their head on cue. When someone is locked out, Google matches a fresh clip against a stored one to decide whether to let you in. The head movements are the security pitch. They let Google systems tell a live face from a photograph or a pre-recorded loop, the same trick it uses to turn away deep fakes. In the meantime, over back at the EU, the European Digital Identity Wallet is not officially described as a mandatory facial payment system, but is building an infrastructure in which identity documents, financial services, and online access can be held inside one digital wallet, often protected or activated through biometric verification. Every EU member state must provide at least one European digital identity wallet by the end of 2026. The wallet is intended for identity credentials, official documents, age verification, electronic signatures, and access to public and private services. So why do these countries and governments have such a fascination with our biometrics? Why are they collecting it and why are they storing it? Because there is a...
Because they want to be gods. Mainly it's Esau, the elite of Esau, you know. Anyway, I can't answer that question well enough, but I can tell you it's all part of Bible's prophecy ultimately. Let's get to the next one.
If you saw my gun and you're wondering what I'm carrying it in, well, I've got a good answer for you. It's this right here, the Vanish Camo holster, the world's most comfortable as well as the most inconspicuous holster.
All right, welcome to the next installment of The Wine Press. Are religious Orthodox Jews about to set up a global system, a global religious system whereby Christians who believe in Jesus will be beheaded because of their faith? Is the beast system about to be installed? Or is this simply Noahide law fear-mongering that is being widely spread by Christians all over the internet and on YouTube? The title of this session is The Noahide Laws, Beast System, or Fear-Mongering. Now, right out of the gate, many of you watching this may be going, what in the world is he?
To let you know, I haven't watched this video yet, so I don't know what he's going to say. Is he going to be a defender of the baby dick suckers? He could be one of them. He probably, yeah, he a defender of the baby dick suckers. But I don't know. Let's just see.
talking about, and many others of you are very familiar with what exactly I'm talking about. So very briefly, the Noahide laws, we're going to jump in and explain what they are 7 laws that religious Orthodox Jews derive from Torah, but they are really...
Well, they're not mentioned in the Bible. Now, they're derived from the Talmud,
hashed out in the Talmud, in rabbinic discussion. And they believe these 7 laws are laws that all Gentiles, that all humans should sort of at a very baseline obey in order to essentially be kosher, in order to be received into the age to come, the Messianic age. And for that reason, the more, I guess I'll say, proselytizing among the Orthodox Jews are trying to encourage Gentiles to embrace these things, and they're called the Noahide laws. Now, because of this...
And first off, them niggas are the true Gentiles, the true heathens. Now, you're going to have some Israelites amongst those niggas, but still, the majority of them are the Gentile. Those are niggas like, they're Hebrew, they're just Hebrew Edomites. They're niggers, they're devils. I'm pretty sure he a devil too.
Some other reasons that we'll discuss. Many, I guess I'll say, prophecy-watching, end-time focused Christians have really been sounding the alarm concerning these Noahide laws. And as I expressed in the opening, they believe that this is the beast system. They believe these Orthodox Jews are going to set up a...
And the way his tone, his voice is, it sounds like he's like, those Christians is like crazy or something. I don't know. It sounds like that, but anyway.
Global system
that his tone of voice is like, the body language too, his eyes, where his eyes going, he's like, yeah, those Christians, they calling this fuck it is just the whatever.
They'll behead and martyr Christians if they don't submit to these 7 Noahide laws. Now,
no, they don't submit to the chip implant, the mark of the beast. The Noahide laws are just laws, rules that these fucking baby dick cracker, baby dick sucking Jewish faggot fuckers, Amalek, imposing on people. But ultimately, it's the chip implant they want you to take.
Developed recently.
And they about following no damn laws, some made up shit that they got.
It's just recently announced that
there's really them laws are just copies of out the Bible, 10 Commandments.
To be the first World Congress or International...
How come they just can't say the 10 Commandments, but they want to call it the Noahide laws? Anyway.
Congress on the Noahide laws this November in Jerusalem. And as a result, YouTube is going absolutely crazy. Now, I could play a whole bunch of the clips. I could put a whole bunch of clips up here, but I don't want to pick on anyone. I don't want to pick on any Christians who, again, they may be well-intentioned, but it's outright panic. I mean, this is it, and they're going crazy. And
well, we are close to it. But I'm not concerned about the Noahide law. I'm concerned about the RFID microchip implant, the mark of the beast. Shit. This little Noahide law, that's like... Now, what did they say? Now, hold on, let's see what the Noahide law is. I did a video about it. I kind of fell asleep on that shit. The Noahide law, Noahide laws. Okay, these just basic things. I mean, the Noahide law, but it says something else. Like, what is there? But this is really all this. The Noahide. Okay, this shit here. Not shit, but it's really just the 10 Commandments. But these niggas here, when it comes to the Noahide law, and see, he ain't even explaining what it is. I forgot what the heck the Noahide law is packed full with. It's basically the things that the Lord don't want you Israelites to do. Like, say, for example, worship idols. Do not worship idols. Do not curse God, Yahweh, or his son, Yahweh Shah. Do not murder, which they say kill. No, it's murder. Killing is no, it's 2 different type of killings. You got a righteous kill, which if somebody tries to kill you, you got the right to kill them to defend yourself. And there's a whole lot of other methods of righteous kill. But then there's a whole lot of methods of unrighteously killing somebody, like murder, because murder is unrighteously killing somebody. Do not commit sexual immorality. Do not steal. Do not eat flesh torn from a living animal. Yeah, you got to daggone kill the animal. You don't want to eat the animal while it's still alive. Nah. Establish court and justice. But all these, them rats ain't following. Them rats ain't following. Yeah, this is what it's supposed, and there's more laws to it. But these rats, they're hypocrites. They're not following, especially sexual immorality. New niggas have them YMCA gay pride parades over in Tel Aviv every year, and I think this year was the biggest of them all. They had it near the Red Sea? Hold on, let me make sure. Which sea is next to the Sodom and Gomorrah? It was the Dead Sea, not the Red Sea, the Dead Sea. And there's gonna be a bunch of dead motherfuckers over there. Yeah, it was the Dead Sea. They had a party. They had a gay fag party. Or just say they had a fag party over there at the Dead Sea. Yeah. And they did that shit as like it was like a middle finger to Yahweh Shema Shah. Like, these niggas are fucking brave and bold. No, y'all niggas just fuck. These niggas are fuck. And the Lord gonna fuck these niggas up. Yeah, man, and it's these are just some laws that you should not do. But these niggas do. They hypocrites.
It's widespread. There are, I mean, I looked at least.
And if a Christian, and if they even bother looking it up, like, this is what it says, Noah high laws. But it's gotta be more to it. Is there more to it? No. But that's what they saying. If you don't follow these laws, I think you get stoned to death or get put to death. Well, but then the funny thing is that so many Christians, they probably don't even know what the hell it means or what the moral laws about. I mean, I care for is the 10 Commandments. I don't know about all this shit. And they call it the Noah High laws. These are things that you shouldn't be doing, of course, but calling it the Noah High law, no, they're supposed to be the 10 Commandments. Yeah. But anyway, but it says 7 too. It's 7 laws, so you know 7 means completion. And a lot of this stuff Christians don't even follow anyway. They like, oh, them Noah High laws. These niggas don't even follow, especially the sexual immorality or committing adultery. Shit. These niggas have evil thoughts on their mind. They be pretending like they fucking love your ass, but they hate your guts and shit. Heck yeah. Fucking niggas eating abominable foods. They ain't nothing but a damn walking, talking parasite.
A dozen.
Filled with parasites.
Sort of prophecy watcher YouTube channels that are just sounding the alarm, like, you need to spread this to all of your friends. This is the most urgent video you're ever going to see, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. First, what are the Noah laws? I just want to separate fact from fiction, because I do believe very seriously and soberly in being watchmen, but I think watchmen should be careful. We should be cautious. We should be rational. We should be level-headed. Otherwise, we're just the boy that cries wolf, that panics at everything. And then when the real thing comes along, no one pays attention. So let's start out. Let's just highlight, what are these 7 Noahide laws? Again, these are laws that religious Orthodox Jews derive, yes, from Torah, but they're really fleshed out specifically in the Talmud.
Fleshed out. But what else is in the Talmud? Oh, I tell you, they have sex with 3-year-old girls and claim that it's part of their arranged marriage. And it described the sexual intercourse of a 3-year-old girl is like, or a girl that's younger than 3. I forgot to mention how I think they say it is like younger, under 3 years old. They say it describes like when they have an intercourse with his baby, it's like poking a finger in the eye. That's what I'm trying to say. And oh yeah, and for you Christians, what they say about what they say in the Talmud about Jesus Christ, saying he died, he deserved to die. He was deserved to die. Right now they say Jesus Christ is in hell, being boiled in semen, a hot pot of semen. Hey, that's what these niggas believe in, excrements, or whatever they call it.
These are what they would see as the baseline rules that all humans, that all Gentiles, even if they don't convert to Judaism, they should obey these basic laws in order to be potentially accepted into the Messianic age. So first of all is the prohibition against idolatry. No one should be worshiping false gods. Second, prohibition of blasphemy. No one should curse God. Now, as Christians, we would agree with these things. We go, yeah, we don't believe anyone should be engaged in idolatry. No one should be engaged in blasphemy.
You niggas do it when it comes to Christians. You do that shit all the fucking time.
A gift. I resented it for 3 weeks. Then I filled the bowl.
Oh my god, I guess I'll have to stop this. I'm getting tired of these fucking ads. Let's get to the last video.
Right now, there's a plan to take your house, your car, and your bank account, and instead of owning any of it, you'll just get access to it, but as long as you behave. Now,
And who's controlling all that shit anyway? The banks and you know, the housing market. He's Amalek. That nigga controlling everything. BlackRock, all that shit, all the banks.
This is just some theory. It's already being built into the financial system, and my guest today has been tracking the blueprint for it since the 1970s. Now, what really got me wasn't the plan itself. It was finding out that the guy shaping the thinking of the people closest to the White House has openly written about a, quote, humane alternative to genocide for the people that he considers undesirable. So you don't want to miss this discussion, because my guest today knows all about this word called technocracy. It's this quiet, decades-long plan to replace elected government with rule by engineers, algorithms, and a handful of unelected tech billionaires.
Yeah, it's going to be governing, AI going to be used to govern everybody.
He's one of the world's leading researchers on this subject, and he's been at it since the 1970s, long before anyone was even asking these questions. So while others are just now noticing flock cameras and data centers popping up overnight, this guy has traced the receipts going back to 1932. He co-wrote one of the first books ever published on the Trilateral Commission. He spent decades building a paper trail connecting that history directly to what's happening in Washington, D.C. right now. In this interview, you're going to understand why your bank account, your house, and even your car are being quietly redesigned without your permission, and why that affects every single person watching this, not just some distant policy debate. You understand why the executive order that Trump signed that everyone cheered for may have opened the door to something even more concerning. Welcome to Man in America, a voice of reason in a world gone mad. I'm your host, Seth Holhouse. On this in the comments, just go to your favorite pod. It's great to have you here, so thank you for giving.
When engineers and scientists got together in the heat of the Depression, and they said, we can do better. We can solve all society's problems with engineering and science, and we have the algorithms. They didn't have AI yet, but they thought they were smarter than anybody else in the universe, so they set out to create a new economic system. This was what was picked up by Zbigniew Brzezinski and David Rockefeller in 1973, when they said, and this was their founding document with the Trilateral Commission. They said, we're going to create a new international economic order. We didn't understand that at the time because we had no visibility of historic technocracy. If we had, we would have said, new, we get it. There's new over here, there's new over there. There's no other system in the world that's other than this. So when I discovered historic technocracy, I put all the pieces together, and I discovered this is exactly what Brzezinski was talking about, the new technotronic era. That's what he called it. He was looking forward 50 years from 1973 into our current day when he said we're going to be given over to a system that will be total what I want to say, he used the term technotronic instead of technocratic, but this was his vision for the new era that was coming. When he said there was three errors, there's three eras, he was looking the one behind then, in other words, before 73. Then he was looking at the current system era, and then he looked forward to the new era. We're in that new era now, and it's plaguing everybody. Almost
plaguing everybody in their pockets. They trying to that's how they gonna get people set up for this new era or new system. Beast system with the chip implant involved, crashing the economy. I'm just going in different orders, but just giving people hell. Yeah, crash. They losing jobs and losing money, crash this bitch, all that shit, and make them hungry, starve them to death, and cut off the water, all that shit.
Everybody's missed this at this point, but let me tell you what happened. When the technocrats started in earnest to build their infrastructure for what we have today, nobody was paying attention of the seeds that they planted, even like in 2000. So picture yourself going down a street you've been down many times, and you look to the left or the right, and you see, there's a building just shooting up. Maybe it's a multi-story building, and you go, where'd that come from? I didn't see that. Who did that? And it appears, right? Well, you know that building took a lot of planning, maybe years, to get all the permits, the studies, the engineering, the architecture, the investors all together. It might have taken years to get to the point where they could break ground and erect the building, right? This is what's happened to us today. There's been a slow building of all the necessary elements, and all of a sudden, technocracy is being erected on us all of a sudden. And so people, like you said, people this year and late last year, they're figuring out where did this stuff come from? Like the surveillance stuff, flock cameras you mentioned, the surveillance, total surveillance system is being erected, the digital currency the privatized digital currency that's being erected right now. The data centers, where do they come? Who saw data centers coming in 2024? There was nothing there. So we're dealing with a monster at this point. It's being erected in real time, and this is what we're going to talk about today. But we have to remember, they've had a long time to prepare their chops.
This video long enough. I ain't gonna play no more of this. If you want to watch the rest of it, there go the title of the video. There go the channel. I'm gonna sign out because damn, I'm drowsy. I feel like I'm about to go to sleep. I'm trying to keep myself up while I'm doing this video. I'm gonna wrap it up. But Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3: For the vision is yet for the appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Shalaki. Yeah, what won't tarry? Prophecy. And these are the prophecies. I mean, it's all this stuff I'm talking about with AI, data center surveillance, all leading to that chip implant. And hell, you don't want to have no part with this system. Well, seek the Lord and repent. Because if you're going to be part of this system, you got to get the chip. And you get the chip, your ass going to take a dip in that lake of fire, burning with brimstone, feeling that pain while your ass is dying. But that's all I got to say. But seek the Lord by seeking his prophets and take heed of what to say and try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Shem Shah by praying in Yahweh Shem Shah, praising Yahweh Shem Shah, worshiping Yahweh Shem Shah, fearing Yahweh Shem Shah, and repenting to Yahweh Shem Shah. To all the men out there pushing this truth and none but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Shem Shah. Keep on preaching, keep on teaching, keep your faith and trust on Yahweh Shem Shah, stay humble. And for you few sisters out there taking heed, keep your faith and trust strong in Yahweh Shem Shah. Stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order, Yahweh Shem Shah. Peace and blessings to whole for that. And all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Shalom.